everybody, and welcome back to live Q&A that we do every week and that we never ever forget. So we've been running around here. We're making some in-studio changes on how our game flow works, and spoiler-ish stuff. We're making some changes that you will see how things work in the future. Also, we're still working on, we got the electrician coming to electrify the studio the week after Gen Con, and then we'll be able, not the studio, the shed, and then we'll be able to move the garage, and then the new studio we're there. We're like 30%, 40% done. But I'm feeling good about it. But also, we're just prepping for Gen Con, getting things ready, and then suddenly someone said, don't you have a Q&A? And I was like, oh yes. Was it you, Roy?
Yes.
Roy said it. So, all right. But folks, I have good news. I have two pieces of good news. So the first piece of good news is we have a contest. I'm going to pull up the contest. So give me a bit to pull that up. Alrighty. And I'll go a little overtime because I forgot, and I'm sorry I forgot. Alright, I gotta find where this contest stuff is. There's a lot that goes into, the prepping for a convention. We'll make sure, we don't want to miss anything. Anyhow, so the contest is here. All right, it's for a $10 Game Nerds certificate. Game Nerds, fantastic game store, of course, that had this amazing sale. I just saw that they did really well. And they have sales every day, so you want to check out on that. To win this contest for a $10 gift certificate, you just need to email us at contest@dicetower.com. And in the subject line, put the word Mahjong. That's spelled M-A-H-J-O-N-G. And answer the question, have you ever played Mahjong? Which is probably yes or no. We'll see. Do not read the chat. The chat says merry-go-round, but the word is definitely Mahjong. So it might be that we just have the wrong one in the description of the video. Listen to me so that you can win. Hello, Bruce. I was about to email you. Yes, we need a handcart, and yes, I'll email you about that when I'm done here. All right. So anyway, I answer questions here. Oh, I said there was two pieces of good news. Look what I found! The top 10 book. We were moving some stuff, and I found it. Hurrah! We'll get to that later. All right. So, Q&As. Let's see. Besides watching the Dice Tower coverage, what are the best ways to combat Gen Con FOMO? It's the same way with anything else. You see someone go to Disney World, you see people on trips to Ecuador and, Poland and Russia, and you see people do things, and just realize it's not everyone's there. Gen Con may have 30,000, 40,000 people at it, but the Dice Tower has 350,000 subscribers, so you are with most other people, and you can just hang out with people online and have a good time. Alrighty, let's see here. If you asked the question already, start asking them now. Tell us about the puppy. Oh, man. Okay, so I was not expecting to get a puppy this weekend, and I guess even less so. My wife was not expecting to get one, but I did get a puppy. A friend of mine, his daughter was getting rid of some puppies, and they told us about it, and when we saw the picture, we were all on board. So I'm going to show you guys the picture of the new puppy along with the shadow. All right, well, there you go. That's the puppy. That picture's a little bigger than I'd like it to be, but there's the puppy. That puppy's name is Twilight, and that's my Fluffy. This is my black German Shepherd I have. My new dog here, my new puppy, Twilight, is half black German Shepherd and half golden retriever. This is an amazing combination, in my opinion. And very cute, 4 weeks old. Fuzzy is 2 years old. So the two of them seem to be getting along well. really well. But the new puppy's only been there a day. Let me show you one more picture, then I'll stop. Then I will stop showing you the pictures of the puppy. Okay, look at that. Look at that. So cute. And I'm actually a little irritated that I'm here, and I would rather be at home holding the puppy. All right. Although my children said to me when I sent a picture of it to Melody and Amy, and they're like, oh, when a child leaves the house, because Holly's leaving for college in 3 weeks, so it's like, you're getting a dog every time you get rid of a child. It's like, maybe. I did not think of it that way. It's like some psychologist would be like, I'm diagnosing you now. Have you ever thought about doing big contests instead of all these little tiny contests? Yeah, and in fact, we've done big contests in the past, and we might do them again in the future. I have one in mind. But I'll tell you what, I'll never forget when the Dice Tower was in its infancy, the podcast, we did a mega contest. So this was a contest where I went to every company I could think of and said, can you send me games, or will you give games to this contest? And they said, yes, you give me 1, 2, or 3 copies. So some companies gave me 3 copies, some companies gave me 1. And then we had a huge first prize, a pretty big second prize, and a smaller third prize, depending. The third prize got anything from a company that sent us 3 games. So we had all these, but when you won, I just sent your address to all these companies, and so it was like Kickstarter. These games just started showing up in the mail. They didn't all come in one big package. So those 3 winners were flabbergasted and happy, as far as I can tell. The problem was only 3 people won. And someone mentioned that to me. They're like, you could have made 50 people happy, but you made 3 people happy. And that's always stuck with me. And I still do big contests occasionally. We've done a contest, I think, for a $500 gift certificate in the past or something like that. But I like lots of smaller contests. They make lots of people happy rather than just one person. And that's why. We'll do some big contests once in a while, but not often. Okay, well, I apologize. I get a little old manish on you all here. Alrighty. Yeah, these are my glasses. Alrighty. I watch your Massive Darkness 2. Think about buying any upgrades or expansions you'd recommend with it. I don't think you need anything. I would play it first, but if I got an expansion, I would get the one with the... I would get one or both of the expansions that came with extra hero classes. There's the Necromancer, the Bard, whatever. I'd get one of them. And then I might get the upgrade pack for Massive Darkness 1, just because then you could buy Massive Darkness 1, which is probably cheap right now, and use all those monsters in the set. What's a day in the life like for you at Gen Con? For me, I wake up at 6 or 7. I answer some emails. Then I get out the door, grab breakfast, and then head over to the exhibit hall as soon as I can, because the first hours before the exhibit hall opens is the best time for me to run around and talk to as many publishers as I possibly can. Then the exhibit hall opens. I am at the booth. I am not at the booth. I'm running around. I have a few meetings I've set up. I go around. I try to look at everything. I have occasional scheduled things, like on Friday, we have our show that we're doing, and on Saturday, I'll be at the op booth in the morning. And so there's a few scheduled things, but for the most part, that's what I do. And then at night, when it's over, we all go out to eat, and then I just chill in a hotel somewhere. I've learned not to overly exhaust myself. I'm going to get exhausted from Gen Con anyway, but I found that kind of just chilling, and I'll go to one of the hotels, hang out in the lobby, and just talk to people. Do you ever go camping with your family? I'm not going camping with anyone. I hate camping. For me, camping is a 1-star hotel. You previously mentioned corner cutters as a necessity when you print your own cards. Any tips on picking a quality one or a trusted brand? I don't know on that. I bought one and I'm really happy with it, but I don't even know what the brand is. I'd have to look it up and see. The one that I'm using makes me happy, so I'll pull it up on Amazon now and I can tell you. I hope it's called a corner cutter, because My Life Unit, corner rounder punch 5mm blue. I bought that and it seems to work well. In fact, I just used it, my daughter used it. We just used it for, that was weird. I see. We just used it to round all the cosmic encounter things. Hang on one second here. Alrighty. Folks, I'm having a really busy time here. Sorry, some of this is Gen Con stuff and I need to... Alright. So I answered that question. Let me zoom up to where I was at. So, okay. You previously mentioned corner cutters as a necessity. Yeah, I answered that question. Alrighty. Wait, you have 2 dogs now. I do indeed. I ordered Caverna and Agricola. Which one should I play first? I don't know. I almost wonder if you should play Agricola first and then go to Caverna, because Agricola is harder than Caverna. I notice at the end of your game review videos, you don't say what numbered ranking you give the game, like 8 out of 10. Why? The main reason I've never given... Hang on, I do need to answer this. I'm so sorry, folks. Alrighty. Okay. I apologize. Anyway, I don't give the number ratings at the end of reviews. I haven't given number ratings at the end of reviews because people read too much into it. You'll say blah, 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 7. People are like, well, that didn't sound like a 7. Then don't ask for a number. You know, I have to condense everything down to a number, so it's hard. I'm not saying we won't do numbers in the future. Stay tuned. Like I said, some things are going to change at the Dice Tower. Nothing major. And all good. Don't worry. How does one focus and be productive days leading up to cons? I feel like I'm at my most productive then, because I have so much to do before the con. Fuzzy got renamed to Fluffy? No, Fuzzy is Fuzzy. Did I say Fluffy? I don't normally say Fluffy. Fuzzy is my big dog, and the new one is Twilight. How did you help teach your children not to destroy game components? I said, children, don't destroy game components. I'm confused by that. I don't let my kids play with game components unless they are old enough to know they shouldn't destroy them. And if they're very, very little, I would play little kid games with them and I would be like, be careful. I guess I'm not understanding the question. Like if they just go in and grab games and destroy them, I'd be like, nah, you can't go near the games. You're too small for that. What are some tips to starting a board game channel with a couple of my kids? I would be cautious on that. I mean, there's some rules on YouTube about kids, so you want to look that up, I think. Secondly, your kids will get, likely, bored of doing it. We've had many kids on the Dice Tower channel as the years have gone by. And these kids have done great jobs at various points, and then they fade away. Every single time. Even the channel Kidsplaining, didn't they just rename themselves? I think they did. Their channel is called Kidsplaining, but I think they rebranded it to Play the Game and Kidsplaining, because the parents got more involved. And I mean, the kids are still involved with the channel, but that's just how these things work. Kids grow up and change, and like I said, I can't think of any kid who grew up to like teenage years and kept doing it, and then as an adult kept doing it. It's probably happened, but you've seen, Melody has her own life now, and I'm sure Ruby and Violet will eventually fade off my channel. So I wouldn't base the entire channel around them. Tom, a while back, you briefly said you had a dream in the past on your own grocery store. What would your theoretical store do to bring in the customer from the big chains? Well, I mean, at the time that I had this dream, I didn't really know much about big chains. I was planning to open an IGA grocery store, or the Independent Grocers of America, or no, Independent Grocers Association. So that's kind of a chain, and I'm of the opinion that the biggest grocery store on the Eastern Coast is an IGA. Anyway, it's in at the Shady Maple one. It's a huge store. And that's kind of my goal, was just to build this big store. I didn't have a lot of business plans behind it. I was 17, so that was just my dream at the time. How do you get puppies to hush? You hold them close. How do you make hush puppies? I don't know. I don't really like hush puppies that much. Are you aware of any studies that show how board gaming enhanced brain cognition? You can probably find something like that on the internet, but I don't know if there's any definitive proof. I mean, I think there's some proof, but not a lot that I can think of. Maybe the puppy's 8 weeks. 4 weeks or 8 weeks? Maybe it's 8 weeks. I don't remember. Very cute puppy, almost as cute as the official Dice Tower cats Pip and Raven. I'm willing to take that contest to the internet. What are Chief Sokotoa's opinion on pets? He has 4. Fortunately, he has this interdimensional kennel. So there was a show, I forget the name of it, I just looked it up, back when I was a kid, about this alien boy who had this little bag of sports equipment that he could make big, and then had little sports equipment, and that would be big, and he would use it to fight crime or whatever, or make sports games to be played right. Chief Sokotoa has something very similar. It's like a kennel. It's in the 42nd and a half dimension, and in it he has 4 pets. One of them is a boa iguana, which is neither an iguana nor a boa constrictor. It's from an alternate Earth reality. It's pretty cool and very, very, very deadly. Don't threaten it. Of course, he has a dog. It is full-bred Afshwama, which, again, you've never seen one of those, but if you saw it, your heart would die and melt. It's the cutest dog you've ever seen. Take every cute dog you've ever seen and multiply it by 1,000. He has a mini elephant and an Washfafa. And I can't even describe it to you because you can only see it when you're wearing 3D glasses. What's the most unexpected place you found board games for sale? Office Max, I think. No, Party City, maybe. I don't know. They're all over the place. I don't know that it surprises me anymore. What's the top 5 again at the Dice Tower Gen Con show? It's going to be the top 5 things that turn me off of a game. Hey Tom, could you possibly do an industry live stream about how board game companies in the U.S. could possibly print games in Europe? I mean, I could ask him, but I know that it's very expensive to print in Europe. So it does. Again, people seem to think that all the board game companies in the world are morons, and that oh, well, why don't you just do this? Again, if you could just do this, it would be done by these companies. I know many, many publishers, and yes, some publishers are worse than others, and some publishers don't make good business decisions. But the vast majority of them, they work together behind the scenes. They talk together. They're like, where do I find good deals in this and this? They have Facebook groups and other groups where they get together and talk about things. I don't even know all this stuff. If you said to me, why is this stuff not done here? I would not know the answers. But I do trust that they're looking for the best deals. They're not trying to gouge customers by printing games expensive on purpose. Alrighty, let's see here. What's my favorite breed of dog? I think at this point it's the Black German Shepherd. I can tell you my top 5 dogs is a Black German Shepherd, a Newfoundland. I can't, in all good conscience, get a Newfoundland here in Florida, but I do love Newfoundlands. A pug, I don't know why, I just like pugs, and then a golden and a lab. The golden retriever and a black Labrador. I just love those. I like those dogs a lot. I like dogs in general. Mutts are fine by me. I'm not a purebredist. type person. In fact, the fact that when I think mutts, I think I like a little bit better, especially if I know the breeds. When I was a kid, my dog was a half black lab, half chow. And that combo just really worked. It was a really fun dog. My wife and I are planning on attending Dice Tower West again. Yay! My wife's really hoping there will be a pitch car event. Maybe not. So we try to make our event somewhat differential. And so Dice Tower West has the marble races there. And will Comic Hunters be at the con? We'll have to wait and see. Does it bother you that the Cat in the Box cards don't have any design on the back? I have it right here. A sealed copy. So let me get this open. Where's the little thing to pull? Ah, there it is. Oh, yeah. No, that doesn't bother me. I don't care what the backs of cards look like. You know, I play so much of this game, I don't even think about the backs of the cards. I think about the front of the cards. That's what matters more. How do you find game upgrades? Well, there's a Facebook game upgrade group. I'm constantly looking on eBay, Etsy, Board Game Geek. Anytime someone mentions a game upgrade, if you have a new game upgrade and you think it's awesome, tell me about it. That's how I find them. Have you talked to Sam since he left Mythic Games? Yeah, briefly. About a month ago, I talked to him, just real briefly, though. No one hates s'mores. Well, that's true, but you don't need to go camping to have s'mores. I know several resorts in Orlando, Florida that have s'mores you can buy and little campfires you can do them over. I love it. When I was a kid, what did I want to be when I grew up? Oh, that varied and changed. For a while, I wanted to be a police officer, an astronaut, a fighter pilot, a conductor. For a long time, I wanted to be a conductor of an orchestra or a band. And then around 15 or 16, my parents wanted to know what I wanted to do, and I was like, I have no idea. So I went and got this book from the library that explained all the different careers, and I remember being very impressed that actuary was the highest salary to lowest stress, whatever their combo was. But it didn't sound like a fun job to me. So I was like, well, I want to open a grocery store. So I went to college for business. And then life changed. Will the Dice Tower also cover Visit Spiel later this year? I don't know how many of the Dice Tower will go, but at least I will be there, but hopefully more. Will there ever be one-day tickets available for locals for Dice Tower West? I can't speak to that. I don't know. But I'll tell you, these conventions always have a limit of how many people can come to them. And so we don't sell one-day tickets because a one-day ticket then takes away a full 4-day pass or 5-day pass that someone else can have. What markers does the Dice Tower library use for roll and writes that you've laminated? A variety. I bought several brands on Amazon. Haven't found one that I love yet. How was your weekend? Great. And nice t-shirt. It's not a t-shirt, it's a collared shirt. A t-shirt is what you wear underneath it. See? T-shirt. What's my favorite type of soda? As time goes by, I'm liking soda less and less. But my favorite sodas are red cream and green lime A-treat soda. I like that one a lot. Orange cream, blue cream, creams. Oh, Gen Con. Gen Con. I forgot. We're going to Rocket Fizz tomorrow. Yeah, we are. Rocket Fizz, Rocket Fizz, Rocket Fizz. I like Rocket Fizz. They have all kinds of sodas there. There's a Rocket Fizz in Orlando, too. Do you find app-assisted games hard to play at conventions or gaming stores because of the noise of the apps? It depends how much the noise matters. Most apps, it doesn't. What model iPad do you use for game apps? I have a pretty new iPad, so Will the Gen Con show make it to the YouTube channel? Don't count on it. I don't know. Why don't you do the component drop anymore? I don't have time for it. Do you still hate Kingdom Builder? I don't know that I ever hated it. I just didn't love it. And that's where I'm at still. From the goals for the Kickstarter, how's stuff coming along? Well, I think we've done many of them. Let me pull up the Dice Tower Kickstarter and see where we're at here. New audio show with Eric Summer. I started that. Delicio Solo Play Series. Started that. A-Team Top 100. They did that. Dice Tower at PAX Unplugged. We've got our tickets. Live Play Series Gloomhaven. I'm still working on that. Dice Tower at Essen. Some of us will be there. The Wrong Videos. Working at Special Top 10s is voted on you. We'll do that soon. And Dice Tower Studios expansion. Oh, and a 24-hour marathon. We did that. That was fun. Is 4 or 5 the best number of people for a board game group? Whatever. If it's 5, it's 5. But then sometimes if it's 5, I'll be like, tonight I want to play a 2-player game and you 3 play a 3-player game. What MCU show movie are you most looking forward to? Was announced at Comic-Con? The 2 Avenger movies. I'm looking forward to seeing group movies again. I just figured you don't include numbers and reviews because they change over the years. Well, yeah, but so does your opinion. So, I mean, it's the same. Is the next Kickstarter going to have a Twilight plushie? Probably not. Where was the top 10 book? Well, it was on the top of a shelf. It has been mentioned! Today we will do. I can't do that. All right, I'll try to do... no, I can't do that one. I can't do that one. No, I'm not doing that one. Top 10 months of the year. I'm telling you the ones I can't do. Top 10 funniest comedians. I don't know of enough comedians to do it. Top 10 worst songs of all time. That one would take a long time to put that one together. I got some ideas on it, but top 10 horror movies, I don't watch enough of them. Top 10 wonders of the USA. I need to go out and see more of those things. Top 10 things that make me cranky. Okay, I can do that. Number 1, meetings. I hate meetings. Number 2, people starting or ending things late. Number 3, lines. I hate standing in line. I hate waiting for anything. Actually, that's probably not number 3. It's a little bit farther down because number 3 is actually paperwork. I hate paperwork, and I'll be real specific here. Taxes makes me cranky. Number 4, all other paperwork, including doctor's office paperwork. Yeah. Number 5, lines. I already said lines. Okay, number 6, things that make me cranky. No, I won't say that. Number 6 is having a plan go awry. Number 7, things that make me cranky. Stupid commenters on the internet. Number 8, things that make me cranky. An untidy house. Number 9, things that make me cranky, leftovers for dinner. And 10, things that make me cranky, being woken up by arguing children. All right, there we go. All right. Am I the only one that didn't know CMON stood for Cool Mini or not? Now, a lot of people don't know that, but I think they want to get away from that because not all their games have miniatures. Hush Puppies are a shoe brand here. Oh yeah, good point. They are a shoe brand. I was thinking of, well, there's a food called Hush Puppies too. Long John Silver's has it. It's like a ball of dough or whatever. Let's see here. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Yes, Hush Puppies are golden fritters made from thick cornmeal-based batter that are fried into crisp outside and tender, chewy inside. They're not that great. I don't think they're that delicious, actually. When was Chief Sokotoa first mentioned on the Dice Tower? I have no idea, actually. I've been telling tales of Chief Sokotoa my whole life. Well, not my whole life, since high school. Yeah. I've told it when I worked in camp. I told the kids when I taught class in school. I told them about Chief Sokotoa. The new Bullet Star, I have played it, and we will talk about it at some point. Do you put ramen in your budae-jjigae? I don't know that you can't. Can you make budae-jjigae without ramen? It ain't budae-jjigae without ramen. And I'm not a big ramen thing. I know that a lot of people don't like ramen, and that makes sense, right? And I when I got out of college, I was like, I'll never eat ramen again. And I don't really like just ramen by itself. But then I went to Korea and had the ramen in Korea, and it's like light years difference between that and American ramen. Now, American ramen has gotten better, especially there's a lot more of Asian ramen available in America. So there's kind of crossing over. There are now ramen restaurants in America that didn't used to be. But ramen still, by itself, it's fine. I like it, but I like ramen in budae-jjigae is awesome. Any plans on coming to the UK for game expos in the future? At the moment, no. I'm not writing it off. We'd love to come, but not right now. When will the next Dice Tower Essential game be announced? I missed Dice Tower. Well, I mean, Foundations of Rome is a pretty big Dice Tower Essential. The next one has been announced, I thought. I mean, I just saw Robert Geisinger announcing it. But just in case that was like a sneak peek, I'll wait and let them announce it. Do you still like Carnival Zombie? I guess I'll wait and see when the Kickstarter releases. White German Shepherd Labs are really good too. That sounds cool. I do like black dogs though. There's something about a black dog. If a dog is black, like you have the black, golden, mottled, brown, white. I love black dogs. I just think black dogs are beautiful. You said several times that you're working on making Comic Coners available in the U.S. Can you elaborate? I cannot. Sorry. My friend said they thought Planet was too little game for $30 and it should be about $20. You said the opposite. Is my friend crazy? Yes, because I don't know what they thought by too little game. Are they talking about components? Are they talking about the design of the game? Because both of those are worth at least $30. The components especially are particularly well done. And if your game is $20, it's either a small little game, which Planet's not. Planet's an ordinary sized game, or it's a piece of trash from Hasbro. Hasbro makes trash games. They cut corners in every single spot in their games. Hasbro is trash. Are you a coffee or tea guy? I'm tea. Have you seen Two Gun Maverick? No, I don't know what that is. I know you meant Top Gun Maverick, and now I haven't seen that either. When you were a teacher, what was your least favorite thing to teach? I'll tell you my least favorite thing to teach was teaching kids basic math when I was teaching algebra/geometry. That would come in, I'd be like, well, what's 5x times 7x? And they'd be like, 12. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I didn't say 5 plus 7. I said 5 times 7. I don't know what 5 times 7 is. And that drove me crazy every time. Because how am I supposed to teach you advanced concepts of math if you don't know basic ones? Trying to think, what are things in curriculum? I never really liked teaching surface area. Kids have a hard time with surface area of objects, and I get it. I don't like teaching dividing polyominoes. That's always a pain in the neck. What am I more excited for, the new Game of Thrones series or the new Lord of the Rings series? Neither at the moment. I am cautiously optimistic with both, but I'm not that excited about either series. They look fine. They might be good. I'll just wait and see. The shed we're getting electrified is just going to be a big storage area. and a workplace for Camilla to do a lot of things. Also, we're putting our 3D printer out there because Brian fixed the 3D printer. Yay! There are yes/no coins in Amazon that are good for catching those punchboard tokens up to the rest of the game production of my father's work. I wonder if that's worth it because the yes/no tokens aren't used that often. I've used them twice now in multiple games. Do you still have that Tom Dice tattoo? I hope so, because if I didn't, I would have got a tattoo removed. Also, my wife. Whee! This is my first Gen Con. What should I or shouldn't I do? Well, you should. Everyone says this, but it's true. Have the most comfortable walking shoes you can get. I actually bought a new pair of shoes, although I bought them on Saturday morning. I walked around all day Saturday in them. I walked around yesterday in them. I'm walking around them in them today because I want to break them in before we get to the convention. They're already pretty broken. They're very comfortable shoes. I always pick comfortable shoes. Oh, my word, that matters so much. Carry around a bottle of water with you if you can. So, you know, basic stuff when you go anywhere. Don't worry about seeing everything. You can't. You can't see everything. So just go and have a good time. See stuff. If you see something you're interested in and you really want to get it, then get it. Don't delay. Don't wait. And hope the price comes down because you might come back later and it's gone. That's if you really want something. If you're kind of, not sure, then, you're like, I like it. I'm not sure. Then go around. You come back and it's gone. The decision's been made for you. It wasn't meant to be. And if it's still there, maybe the price has gone down, but don't worry about stuff like that. Talk to everyone, ask questions. People are friendly. Make sure you come by the Dice Tower booth at 2741. Do you still dream about the cake vending machine? No. There's a Rocket Fizz in New Jersey. What soda would you recommend picking up? We had butter and bacon soda. It was not good. Well, come on now. You got butter and bacon soda. The creams, I always like the different creams. And I think the strawberry shortcake soda was pretty decent. I always get one or two, and then I stick them in my hotel room. Do you track board game plays? No. I get it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make that, turn that question back on your head about, oh, how dare you ask these questions. It's just that a lot of people ask this sort of thing. Maybe I can ask this stuff, but I don't want to keep going on and on about this. Here at Dice Tower, we want to actually talk about games. There's so many things to talk about, and I've noticed that there's two pretty strong trends in the board game hobby, as the creator's hobby. One is talking about future games. Kickstarter, 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 Kickstarter. Well, before it comes out. Once it comes out, no one cares anymore. And the other is just talking about anything and everything, which is fine. I mean, there's lots of interesting topics to talk about, but we want to talk about games as much as we can. Last week, I tried to review a pile of games. When we get back from Gen Con, we'll review piles more because I want to talk about games. I feel like games should be the focus of our channel. Tommy did a 30-hour marathon. He still has a 24-hour marathon? Oh, Trixie, but no. Technically, I did 7 24-hour marathons. I did a 10 to 10, and then a 10, 11 to 11, then a 12 to a 12. Every time I see you in this green stripe polo, I think of Steve from Blue's Clues. Thank you. That's what I keep telling people. That's exactly what this shirt is. What's my favorite part of Gen Con? The show is a pretty big thing. I like the show. It's just so much fun to do a show for a live audience, but also just meeting everyone. I really enjoy that. Ooh, Baby Shark is #1 on most hated songs? Nah. Last Christmas is pretty high for me. I really don't like Last Christmas. Of course, I also hate What Are You Doing New Year's Eve? No, not What Are You Doing New Year's Eve. I'm sorry. Baby, It's Cold Outside. I don't like that song either. Why do you have a naked Thanos Funko Pop behind you? Why, are you cretin? This isn't Thanos. This is from McDonald's, baby. Thanos. How sad. Alrighty. Ironic about starting things late. Yeah, I know. I know. And I'm mad at myself when that sort of thing happens. But I don't like when people go late for no reason. Like, you know how much content you're supposed to be doing. You said you do it from 5 to 6. You said that the service would start at 10:45 and then 11:45, then end at 11:45. There used to be a teacher in my school in Korea who always went late. His kids were late coming to my class, and I was like, dude, you need to let them out on time. He's like, oh, what I teach is very important. It's like, do you think what I teach is not important? But he just would not. He could not do it. He could not let them out on time. So I changed all the clocks in his room. This was before we had smartphones and everything. And so he went by the clock in his room, so then his kids came to my thing on time. That is not the only time I changed clocks. I changed clocks on one of the Sunday school teachers at my church in Korea because he always went over time, so I just put the clock 5 minutes over. Because I would stand in the back and be like, time is up, and he ignored me. And then in college, there was a guy who went over time, so I bought a really cheap watch, taped it under the desk, and had the alarm go off because he just missed the time. He wasn't looking up. It was a night class from 7 to 9, and at 9 p.m. I was done. And I wanted to go home. He was not done, so I was like, I want to go home. Let's see here. Favorite museum or historical location that you visited? Whew, those are two different things. My favorite museum that I've ever been to might be the British Museum. I was just so impressed with that museum. That was such a huge, cool museum. The Smithsonian's pretty cool, though, too. I love cool museums. Historical location, that's a different ballpark. Historical location. So we're taking out geographic locations. Historical. Tower of London is so high up there. I don't know the secret subway system in Great Britain. Those are two. Let me think. In America, Gettysburg. Gettysburg is so amazing. It might be Gettysburg. I love going to Gettysburg. It's been many years since I've been there. All right. Let's see here. Moving through here. Have I ever watched a YouTube show, Hot Ones? I might have watched it once or twice. I've not got any of their hot sauces. I got a lemongrass hot sauce that I tried last night. I think I must have kickstarted it. It just showed up in the mail, so I probably kickstarted it. That wasn't too bad. I do like hot sauces. What's the best number to play Cosmic Encounter? 6. Store-bought ramen is awful. Well, I don't know that awful is a strong word. There's some decent store-bought ramen, and if you're gonna make it at it's not like the local delicatessen has ramen for you. Let's see here. What are your thoughts on all the game companies raising shipping price after the payments have already been processed due to rising shipping costs? I don't know. And I'm being serious on this. I don't know. Do I like it? No. Do I like a company sending me and saying, we're holding this game until you send us more shipping? I don't like it. But I also don't know what they can do because shipping prices did go up. And I can sit there and be like, eat it. Go out of business, you fool. But it's not cool all the way around. And that's not anyone's fault because no one knew shipping prices were going to go this crazy. So yes, some companies are not handling it well, I think. Some companies are going out of business. Some companies have asked for donations and money, and some companies have required them. I don't know the best way to handle it or not, but I do know that it's not a fun situation for anyone. And nobody I know of is doing it to get rich off it. They're doing it because just the shipping price went up that much. It sucks. It does for everybody involved. Do you feel that the Wild West and theme park are underused board game themes? Well, there's a lot of theme park stuff these days. Wild West, there's still not a lot. Is Gen Con the only board game con requiring vaccination and masks? I'm pretty sure that Origins also required vaccination and masks. Dice Tower East, we're in Florida, so we just did it the way everything else in Florida does it. Tom would have hated me as a math student. I wouldn't have hated you. Whenever kids came in and didn't know their times tables, I was upset with their previous teachers because that should have been taught to you. I was not happy with their parents. The parents that make sure they learned their times tables. Never the student. I want to go back to Dice Tower East next year, but I'm concerned about how much more expensive the rooms will be next year because of inflation. I don't know how much more they'll be. I don't think it will be that more expensive. Any info on room price next year? I don't know off the top of my head, but I don't think it'll be that much more expensive. I still need a calculator for adding up my game scores. I think using a calculator is a fine thing. I mean, we have them to say you shouldn't use one, but I don't think you should need a calculator. You should be able to add a group of numbers without one. Eventually, Tom will have tattoos for all his kids and all his many puppies. Nah. Does your comfortable shoes have Velcro straps? No, there's no straps at all. These are Skechers Go Walk. And I just like to slip my feet in and out of them. I do not understand the point of tying your shoes. It's a pain to do. It's slow. Slows you down. The only reason I could see tying your shoes is if you're running, then you want shoes that are nice and tight. And so, laces are good for that. But if you're just walking around and stuff, give me these shoes any day. When I was in college or in first Korea, I always wore Velcro shoes because they didn't have slip-on and off shoes back then. Everyone made fun of me for wearing Velcro shoes. Okay. I think that's funny. It's like they made fun of me. They're like, ha ha ha, you're wearing Velcro. I'm like, yeah, but my shoes are on and you're still tying yours. Okay. All right, let's see here. Do I have a favorite bean in Bonanza? Yeah, the blue bean. Typical 3-2-1 con rules, at least 3 hours of sleep, 2 meals a day, and 1 shower a day? No. What? No. Who said that? 3 hours of sleep? You need 6 hours of sleep at least. 2 meals a day is fine. 1 shower a day is fine. I would recommend 2 showers a day, 3 meals a day, and 6 hours of sleep. Let's see here. Last week I mentioned Avengers New Avengers by Hickman. This is the Incursion storyline leading to Secret Wars with the Illuminati, etc. It's okay. The Incursion stuff was a little interesting, but they started jumping so much around in the comics that I was starting to lose track of what was going on. And then there were so many comics, and the Hydra was good, and they were working with Sunspot, and then there were these little clone babies, and there was all kinds of weird things happening before Secret Wars. I like that stuff fine, but sometimes I would rather them just have a straightforward story. Let's see here. I've not finished Elden Ring. I will probably go back and finish it at some point. I appreciate your Cat in a Box review. What was the first trick-taking game that hooked you? Hearts, for sure. If Grimace snaps, people are comparing Grimace to Thanos. If Grimace snaps, all the Burger Kings in the world disappear. Let's see here. Did you really change all his clocks? Oh, I did. I don't know. Again, I have no tolerance for people who are late. So he only had 2 clocks in his room. It wasn't like I changed all the clocks. And then I also had to change them every day because I had to go fix them at night. But it was worth it. It was worth it. Did he notice his class was starting late too? No, and I worried about that. Like he might see through that. Let's see here. Did you go to any of the historical locations in Iceland? I don't think so. I think we went to all the geographical things. I saw multiple waterfalls, the best waterfall I've ever seen in my life. It was like I thought it was as awesome to see as was see Niagara Falls. It was so cool. The Great Divide, where the plates are breaking up, the geyser inside of a defunct volcano, the black sand beach. Oh, that's such everything in Iceland is awesome. Have you ever had a big disappointment from a failed Kickstarter you really wanted? Oh my word, all the non-board game ones always seem to fail on me. Any thoughts in general on the game library post Dice Tower East? Oh, I'm working on it right now, actually. That was one of the things I was working on this morning. I'm taking some games out of the library that no one really checked out and adding more games in. I've not been to Singapore. I'd love to go to Singapore. The closest I've been to is KL, which is close, but not enough. Will you consider selling Dice Tower merchandise on the Dice Tower website? I do get that people want Dice Tower merchandise. Believe me, it's something we're working on. Can you talk about your appearance on Vicarious Encounters releasing tomorrow? Yeah, I'm appearing on Vicarious Encounters tomorrow. I feel like that was a setup question. It was a setup question. I guess I'm on tomorrow. Yeah, I'm on a podcast called Vicarious Encounters. That's tomorrow. So check it out. Yeah, I would like to go to the Louvre, and we thought about going to the Louvre when we were in Paris, but we didn't have a lot of time. We were in Paris. I was like, Eiffel Tower, Louvre, so we picked Eiffel Tower. I really want to see Eiffel Tower. I know that's very generic and everyone goes there type thing, but I'm really glad I did go there. How do you feel about the library? I feel like it's great. I'm really happy with it. What are your proudest justifications from Dice Tower East? The library. It seemed like everyone enjoyed it. I also thought that Sharon and Camilla did an absolute bang-up job at running that thing. It seemed to run very smoothly. Is cologne overused or underused? I guess underused because I don't smell it that often, but I don't hang out with lots of big groups of people. Let's see here. Are you getting a copy of Master of the Universe Fields of Eternia? I don't know. I'm gonna try to get one. I think I might get one. I don't know. Velcro was invented by NASA. I did read that somewhere. Recently, I got some Velcro I thought was neat because both sides were both hooks and they worked together really well. I wonder if that's like the future of Velcro. In Florida, we prefer flip-flops. Not I. I really hate flip-flops with all my heart because I hate having that thing between my toes. It drives me nuts. That's one thing. I also really hate the flip-flop part. I want my shoe to move with my foot, not to flop off it. I get it. Everyone loves them. My kids like them. I don't get it. I just really dislike them. Also, I like socks a lot. 6 hours sleep is a normal day of a monkey. I agree. But again, I cannot tell you how much. You might Man, the thing, people never understand is at a convention. Like, I only need 3 hours sleep. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. You may think you're fine, but you're going to be short. You're going to be jerky to people around you. You're going to not do things as well. You're not a good game player. You need sleep for other people's sake, not just your own. You have to, that's why you take a shower for other people's sake. And you should eat so you don't get hangry. You really got to think about that. You're like, but I only have so many days to be there. Those few extra hours you get from not sleeping are not worth it. Sleep, and then the hours that you are awake, you will enjoy that much more. Have you ever eaten and slept at your seat in a board game and woke up to continue the game the next day? No. Let's see here. Yes. Amanda says, I played with people at cons who weren't getting enough sleep. The grogginess, falling asleep at the table, and general dopiness from being so tired made it unpleasant and felt rude. 100% yes. And you're like, oh, that's not me. How do you know? It probably is you. Oops. My phone is on. Let's see. I'm going to Iceland in September. We'll have a fantastic time. Let's see here. Have you been to Taiwan? I've not been to Taiwan. I'd like to go there too. Let's see here. Do you have a super special hat that stands above the rest? No, not really. What is my most blinged out game? Probably Lost Ruins of Arnak, I think. I'm not sure. What do you think about the Twilight Inscription, a playthrough that FFG did? I didn't know they did one. But I don't normally watch playthroughs from other people because when I play a game for the first time, I don't want to have any other impressions going into it other than I want to get like a fresh impression of it if possible. The Dice Tower events might be the biggest conventions based around a specially curated library of some sort. Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, BGG has a big library. Geekway to the West is a big library. They're both large events. There's even PAX is a library, although they're not centered around the library. But I'll tell you this, the Dice Tower library is better than PAX's library, better than Gen Con's library, better than Origin's library. I don't know that I would. I think, and this is me just guessing, that it's better than Geekway to the West library, but maybe not. BGG library, that'd be an interesting one. BGG's library is much bigger than mine, almost twice as big, but I don't have as much garbage as they do, so it'd be a tough call. It'd be a tough call. I like to think mine's the best, but I'm very, very biased, obviously. Let's see here. Well, I think I'm almost done here. I started 11 minutes late. So is it awkward to go to a con by yourself? It's going to feel that way a little bit at first, but just go with the flow. Go around, see stuff. Maybe you'll meet some other people to hang out with, but don't let it get to you. Go visit booths. The people at those booths will treat you well, whether you're alone or not. Maybe schedule a couple games or something to get into and have a good time. Why do people leave inedible stems on food when serving? Cherries, peppers. You know what drives me nuts? Why do people leave tails and shrimps? I've looked this up because I was like, there's got to be a reason. And there really isn't a good one. I've looked up from many different people. Some people think it adds flavor to the meal and all. Take the tails off the shrimp when you put it in my spaghetti. Why should I have to reach into that sauce and pull the tail off the shrimp? It's so annoying. Anyway. You know what? I should end here. So I will. Sorry, folks, for the slightly late Q&A, but we gave you the full hour heads up. I think we did. We did. I've gone 59 minutes and 44 seconds. All right, well, I hope to see you at Gen Con, booth 2741. Come on by. There's still tickets left for our live show. If you want to come see that, it's going to be a lot of fun. And if you're not there, we got videos going up today, tomorrow, and all week long, and then we'll be back next week. You know what's happening next week? We'll play it live. It's happening. It's been a while since we've done that, so that'll be coming back. Anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching the Dice Tower Live Q&A. See you next time.